We're starting, and Mother's going to tell us the history of some of the items in her home.
Well, let's start with the sideboard, because in the days when these were sold, they were called sideboards. And this belonged to my mother and her mother and her mother, so it goes back for many generations, back to the Civil War, exactly. And these hurricane lamps did not come with it. I bought that recently, but this came with it during the Civil War period, and I had a picture of it on the sideboard. And these came from Japan, from a niece of my mother's. She was stationed in Japan teaching after World War II, and she brought them to my mother. This belonged to my grandmother. Very popular item in its day. Not worth very much money, but I did see it on an antique show on television, and they said they thought they might be worth $100. So it's not a big value.
There's a little confusion on what it was, if it was a vase or a pitcher, but you're kind of going with pitcher now, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think
And
it's
maybe even a little wine
tureen.
decanter, yeah.
I think it pours.
Okay. Ready? The sideboard was your mother's grandmother. Your mother is Bessie Grider Reed. Her mother was
Bianca Nickerson. Well, first she was Bianca Nickerson, and then she married Henry Clay Grider, and they moved to Appleton City, Missouri. So this has come from Waupun, Wisconsin, to Appleton City, Missouri, to Coffeyville, Kansas, and out to Goldendale, Washington.
so okay. Your mother's grandmother was who?
Jane
Nickerson, right?
Nickerson.
Jane Nickerson.
Okay.
And
It goes back at least to my grandmother, but I don't know how far back it went.
Now we're talking about the fish.
Bianca Grider.
okay.
Okay.
From Appleton City, Missouri.
This came from?
This was always at my grandmother's house, and I don't know how old it is, but it was a very popular thing that day for pickles. And this is how you get the pickles out with the little tweezers. I've used it for candy, because people don't use pickles on their table anymore.
Cool.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the?
Are
Yes.
you with me?
Yeah, I am.
Came from my grandfather's store in Chico, and I don't know how old that is, but it's very old, and it's not worth much, I don't think.
Now I'm with Betty. Grandfather, which grandfather?
My mother's father.
Okay.
That would have been before they moved to Appleton City, and he started the hay and grain elevator that he started there. Now, do you want to look inside?
Sure.
Do you want me to pull things out?
Yeah,
Heather?
why don't you do that, Betty?
Sorry.
Let's start with the tea set.
Okay.
And I had a lady from Holland tell me, no, Jane, that is not a tea set, it's a chocolate set. But my mother said, no, it is a tea set. This belonged to my great Aunt Nellie in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was on a table, a little marble top table in her dining room. And I was 4 years old at the time. She said, Jane, what would you like that you see in my house that you would like to take home as a souvenir of your trip here, your visit with me? And I pointed to that tea set, and I heard her gasp a little bit. She didn't think a little 4-year-old girl would pick that out, but she kept her word, and she sent it to me years later. That is Wedgwood, and
That's
I do
beautiful.
treasure that.
Now tell us. Are we on?
Yep.
Okay, tell us the relationship of great Aunt Nellie. Whose sister was she and how is she related?
I have that written down, but she's the sister to Phoebe. This is a long Fostoria, and it's an ice bucket, and it goes with the glasses that I have in the other room. It was a wedding gift to me, and you fill it with ice cubes and bring it to the table.
Okay, we're now pulling plates out of the buffet, and here's some plates, and these have all come from Grandma Reed's mother's home, and they're all probably from about the same vintage, and they're very pretty and all a little different. Thank you, Betty. You're doing a lovely job.
Okay.
And they use these for dessert plates when entertaining. Okay, now we're getting a couple bowls out, and this one was hanging on the wall in, I'm sorry, your grandma's home when she was growing up? Okay.
My mother's home.
This is on the Coffeeville wall. Okay, now what do you have here?
A salad bowl. She always had fruit salad in this.
And that came from
My
was it-
grandmother's home.
Okay. Now this little picture too, we
That looks bit old.
came from grandmother's mother's house, and we don't know before that.
Could have just been with milk for cereal. I don't know where it came
Sweet. And the little bowl with the woman in the middle, Grandma thought might be Marie Antoinette, but we're not sure.
from. No, we're not. Don't know.
Did you get it from Grandma though?
Oh, yeah. All both of these.
And this bullet Betty has in her hand came
They're
during the
probably about the
Depression, was a
same
gift during the
era.
Depression.
Okay.
30s. 1930s.
Okay.
I have, turn it off just a minute, the teaspoon in here, and the spoon is full of holes, so the tea can seep out. China here came from my aunt Carrie, and that was my dad's sister. She lived in Kansas City. Her husband worked at the penitentiary there, and it was considered a very good job for the Depression days. So they had a nice home and had some lovely things. And I inherited this from her, the china cabinet, that was made for mainly bridge clubs, and you served your coffee and cream and sugar on each table, and so they all have their own.
And where did it come from?
Cypori
Okay.
bought it for me. I thought it was unusual.
Grandma bought that at Timberline Lodge when she was visiting.
My mother sent this to me for a gift. And it's the teardrop pattern and the candle holders. This is Steuben, made here in America. I really treasure these. Grandma Reed bought these for me, and this is also the grapes made by Steuben. I've done this, but I did it. It's been cracked from hot water, from washing it and rinsing with hot water. I'm really upset with myself for doing that. That's several $100 down the drain. This is a knife rest that was my grandmother's, that you carved the turkey or the ham or the roast and rested your knife on the knife, two bottom shelves. They came from my great aunt Molly's home too. She had a full set of those, of banquet-sized dinner plates, luncheon-sized plates, and here are dessert plates, and she had bread and butter. She had a full set of at least 12 of everything, and my mother inherited what was not broken, because when she was an invalid in bed for the last year of her life, she had maids that worked for her and broke a lot of pieces, and then what was left my mother gave to my oldest brother Grider and his wife. So they got a lot of her habit. I don't know whatever happened to it. They don't have it. Ty doesn't have it.
So how did you end up with these pieces?
She gave them to me. These she gave to me.
So the set was divided.
Mm-hmm. Sugar and creamer from my mother's home.
Cut glass.
Cut glass. I'm sorry. Thank you. I just couldn't think of it. This is cut glass from my
From-
mother's home. Oh, I can't think of the name of this. What is it, Betty? It's cut glass from Europe.
Crystal.
Well, there's a name for it.
Waterford?
Waterford.
Oh.
This is Waterford.
That's beautiful.
Bought in Fort Worth for me. And this is old. My mother always had it filled with homemade cranberry jelly for Thanksgiving.
That's a lot of cranberry jelly.
We loved it. We just took multiple spoonfuls of it.
Did she get it from her mother, or was it?
Yeah, it belonged to her mother. Cy Forey's home.
That's pretty.
I always loved this because of the little butterfly handle. And then, was it one of you girls that said this doesn't really go together, the saucer and the cup?
No.
That's from Annie Sue, right?
From Auntie Sue's
Yeah.
home. And I didn't notice that. It looks like it should go together to me.
Well, we've decided these do belong together.
Okay. From my mother and her mother. And my mother used it as a cake, and sometimes she'd reverse it like this and put a vase in the top and put fruit around the bottom, and she did all kinds of things with that. From my mother.
Okay.
Glass butter dish. Or for whatever you would like to use it for, but it's made for butter, home churned butter from Finchville.
This is from Cy's home.
I thought I did too, Betty, but it wasn't that one. I've got it. Cut glass. Cut glass.
And from?
From Grandma
Okay.
Reed and her mother. This, where did you get that? Christmas gift from Cy's daughter Linda.
Very pretty.
Yes, it is.
Butter dish from Grandma Reed and her mother.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, you're moving on me though. There we go.
That is very sweet. Where'd it come from?
Grandma Reed, 5, 6, 7, 8 parfait glasses
Oops.
from Grandma Reed. And this came from Aunt Nellie.
Very pretty. So tell us about this room that I'm looking at in the picture, Mother.
This is the dining room of Jane Nickerson in Waupun, Wisconsin. They were farmers. They had a rock quarry on their farm, and the rock from their quarry built the prison in Waupun, the state Wisconsin prison. After the prison was built, many immigrants migrated to America. They could not speak English. They had no jobs. They scattered to the farms for room and board, and they worked on their farm. Many of them did. My grandmother, Bianca Nickerson, was 10 years old and taught them English at night after work, the ones that landed at their farm. And then after the prison was built and it was filled with prisoners, they had to eat, and a lot of the produce was grown on this farm. So their farm really prospered, as you can see in the picture. And the chairs and the sideboard in the picture I have.
Okay, so here are the chairs. And the sideboard, and in the picture you can see this little tea set on the sideboard in the picture as well. But the set of chairs and the table. are from. Obviously the chairs came from there, but the table came from...
And the fish is in the picture too, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
There is a fish on there, but I don't think it's the same fish. I looked at it again.
Okay.
You could see what you think. Anything about the table except it belonged to my grandmother, Grider, in Appleton City, Missouri.
And it was at your home, wasn't it, in Coffeyville?
Then my mother had it at her home. So
Was
it's
this a-
been from Appleton City to Coffeyville to Goldenville.
Was this a table that we ate on in Coffeyville in the kitchen?
Not in the kitchen, no, it's in her dining room.
In the dining room, okay.
Holy crap, dude, this is a fire right by our house. Shit, dude. Oh crap, I shouldn't have sit down on camera, but still, dude, it was
Put it over here.
huge.
We have to evacuate all the stuff in our house so it doesn't burn.
It's not your house, dude, it's my house, but still.
Yeah, well,
And all these people from all over are coming, and there are ashes like on the front street and everything. Fire trucks. These are the apartments that the people just built. So, holy crap, this is scary, dude. Fire. Shit. Oh shit! The trees are on fire, I think. No, they aren't yet. Oh crap, dude. It's good.
smells coming out of the corner. Where's your record button?
The red button.
Okay. It's on record, but it's not doing anything. Cap's on.
It's recording, it's recording, dude.
Yeah, it had, it had the cap on. Chris. What? You guys are done with it. Ash laying on my head. There's ash landing on my head.
I don't think you want to meet either one of us. If you find anything that doesn't
Okay, here's Ben and Jesse. They have been marooned here because of the fire. I promised them an hour job, and they're here for the afternoon.
Yeah, you're gonna need like 5 bags of mushroom compost for that thing.
There's a tree. And the work goes on. Oh, power.
Something about PG shut down.
Probably got home. I feel bad. Our neighbor Kim saved her husband's tool shed. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Garages that burned, and you're right up here on the hill. Drove up and was filming. No, I don't know. Look at that. We emptied our house. Oh God, yeah, our roof is smoldering. You mean poured out stuff like photo albums? Oh God, yeah. The person who wasn't home. Probably had to heat the house. Man, that's worse.
Got the snake out.
Like, what do you bring?
My dog first and the photo album.
Paper. You just found the day you were going to leave. Oh my God, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. No question. Our roof was smoldering. Oh, absolutely. We pulled up. There were people in my backyard spraying.
Whoa, man. There is. Portland fireman, we thank you. You rule. Quick action, man. There we go, he moves. That was such a big fire. That was amazing, dude.
Sure, this is an old one, so why don't we go look at the, you can on a non-busy day like a weekend, and maybe we'll go down to the industrial area, and we'll go drive the rig around. Just
Well, your mom would get right in my face.
tons of different things in the books, from maps.
Hey, boys.
And just a bunch of forcible entry tools, flares, stuff like that. Usually put 2 or 3 ladders up. You always want to have, like if we're on a roof, you always want to have.
It's Saturday, the fire was on Tuesday, and I'm just showing the burned roofs that are behind our house. I'll find that other one there. And we went to that station number 3 yesterday because their engine is the one that went between the 2 burning buildings and fought the fire from back here, which is, so these buildings didn't go, which is, the fire department gave them credit for keeping that fire from spreading, where it would have probably taken our cul-de-sac for sure. Anyway, this is not really where most of the fire was. Most of the fire was back in here, and I'll go see if we can see anything, but I don't think I can. This is off our deck, but this is where Christopher was shooting the day of the fire, was right back in here. And I guess I'm not seeing much because the buildings aren't there to see anymore. There's the back of our house. I'll try to do this so we don't get sick. And then down here, that's where those apartments are. And it's hard to tell. It's just not a good view. They've started rebuilding. Actually, they're almost finished rebuilding. It is the middle of March, spring vacation week. And from here you can kind of see, those are our trees. You can see what actually burned once they're rebuilding here. these right here, actually, the roofs had to be repaired on these, and you see the buildings that burned there, and down here, the garage area that burned.